Good morning, everyone. It is Halloween day, and I'm getting ready to go to the studio. Just got out of the shower, so I'm going to get dressed. We're going to go see my brother, Ryan Wenzel at Arrowhead Studios, and I'm kind of going to have a message as we go along, so bear with me. But yeah, we're just going to keep this going. So I believe the saying is something to the effect when life gets you down, don't feel bad because someone in your hometown is still trying to be a rapper. That's me. You see, the problem is a lot of you fair weather rap fans don't understand that hip hop is a culture. It's not something that you listen to because it's on your radio or this or that. It's a culture. It's connected to the elements, and it's just like the elements of life. There's DJing, graffiti, dancing, MCing, and fashion. It's an actual culture. That culture is steeped deep in a lot of us. So when you say that like it's a bad thing, it's not a bad thing. At least I don't take it as such. I take it as, yes, I'm still on a hustle. I still have a dream. So many people have gave up on things that they wanted to do. And so if you think that being an MC or a rapper or whatever is just the worst thing ever, cool. Keep doing that and keep dying in those coffins you call cubicles. This has nothing to do with trying to get gold teeth or have my hat sideways. Or the emceeing is a state of mind. Being a DJ is playing an instrument that I know a lot of people will say that's not an instrument, this or that. Go ahead and try and put together things like Funk Master Flex, Jason Mizzle, rest in peace, Jam Master Jay. Try to put things together like they do on the turntables, and you'd have a better shot or an equal shot at playing Eruption like Eddie Van Halen. Rest in peace. And so somebody's going to say, "Oh, there he goes. What's with the gold teeth in? If it's not a rap thing." I think I've seen people with gold teeth that were not MCs. And here's the other thing: they're safer than a boob job, elective surgery, a lot of things that people get that have no bearing on the quality of their health or extension of their lives. They're just getting it. It's cosmetic. This comes out, and it's not costing me thousands of dollars. I haven't heard of anybody losing their life popping gold teeth in and then taking them back out because of something radical that happened during the surgery. And I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm just saying, see it in its perspective for what it is. You want to clown a particular demographic or people who, want to have a certain choice or express themselves a certain way. Cool, but this is the pushback. And at some point, it just becomes individual style. For instance, this is a bolo tie, but I just wear it down like it's almost a medallion. That's not a rap thing. I get clowned, for being an MC or, being a rapper or somebody who's involved in hip hop that wearing like cowboy stuff. Come on. So it becomes a manifestation of individual style at some point. So did being in music get me the ability to do that? Lock the keys to my own home? Absolutely not. Did it get me the ability to walk in or walk over to this car that I'm about to get in and drive? Absolutely not. So, if that didn't make me, being involved in music hasn't made me independently wealthy, to buy a house and all that stuff, what are we saying that this is? It's an interest. It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's no different than people who play in, jazz bands or, little local rock bands and stuff. They're not making money off of this. I go do spoken words at places. I meet comedians. Shout out to Kels and Nick Lytle. I mean, yeah, some places you're getting paid for things, and other places you're not. But the point is, there's a passion that you just keep doing it. So I'm focusing in on when people talk about, rapping and stuff like that, because that's what that meme was about. But what my point is about is that it's much bigger than that. It's more about your dream chasing. I mean, the principal at my daughter's school, he practices martial arts. Okay, cool. Doesn't mean he's got to be Jet Li. It means he likes it. It means that that's what he does. So why is it that we've taken aim at one particular musical lifestyle or genre? What is that about? I've never heard somebody say, it's too bad you're still trying to, play in the Philharmonic. Stop it. We all have things that we aspire to do, that we would still like to do. There's leagues, sports leagues. What's the guy in the softball league still doing then? He's not going to be Derek Jeter, but he's still playing. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody grinding and trying until either their last breath or they make it. But for a lot of people who are going to sit back, maybe even how I'm coming at this, it's a lot of the people that gave up. What's CrossFit about? Exercising almost to an Olympic-like level, but none of us are, getting medals for that outside of your own games, but you're not going global with it. All right, cool. I mean, as a local, yes, there are definitely, games for CrossFit, so I have to walk that back. But you're average every day. It's like there's, shows that MCs can do. There's all sorts of things that we all can do to have an interest, but it doesn't mean that we actually have to be like wildly successful at it. The success is that you have taken part in something, you've allowed your life to be something productive, be something that you enjoy doing, be something that you enjoy following. So when I say that I'm trying to be a rapper, I have to walk that back as well. Now, I'm not trying to be. On a lot of levels I am. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be on your radio, or I'm selling platinum stuff, or I'm doing a lot of the things that people want to associate rap with. It's not an all or nothing. It's not a get rich or die trying thing. It's a live your life and do other things as well. I know guys for years who have been rapping, and they're doing regular stuff. And a lot of them, like myself, have gone on to other music forms as well, still doing everyday job stuff, still raising their kids, still taking part in, PTO and all that stuff. It does not mean it's a completely separate life where it's all of one thing or you failed at it. It's an easy shot to take. And it's a short-sighted shot to take because, again, we all have our dreams. We all have things that we want to follow and pursue. And even if it doesn't mean success, some people, I don't know, you could be like a lawyer but still be able to drop bars. Doesn't mean you're going to stop being a lawyer. It means that's what you enjoy doing. If you enjoy going out golfing, you're not trying to win the Masters. It's what you enjoy doing, but you also enjoy that other part of your life that has normalcy to it. I'm gonna keep at this. So we're gonna follow this, and we're just gonna keep going. But guys, the whole notion. Stop singling out certain demographics. We know what that's about. We know covert when we see it. I'd rather it be overt. Just yell it out the window. And I know a lot of, you won't agree when I say that it's art, but it is. It's spoken word. You may not care for a lot of the words, but it is spoken word. It's poetry, it's lyricism, to craft bars and things like that. It is a skill, just like a lot of writers have a skill. Now, if you're gonna go and say, but it's all this, that, or the other, then you haven't experienced hip-hop as a whole. You haven't experienced the rap side of it as a whole, because there's a lot of MCs, there's a lot of music out there that doesn't speak to drugs, doesn't speak to violence, doesn't speak to misogyny, homophobia. No different than Jerry Lee Lewis, being, what did he marry, like his 13-year-old cousin? But we're okay with Great Balls of Fire. Stop it. What do we know about Ted Nugent? I'd say there's a few others. And then when you just talk about and break down lyrics in a lot of songs where men are clearly talking about underage girls. And I'm not talking about R. Kelly. That guy's gone through his, but there's been a whole lot of people in the rock genre who have said some pretty questionable things, and we looked past it, but now we're worried about guys trying to be rappers. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer that they keep what they see pent up? Don't talk to us about what's going on in your neighborhoods. Don't tell us. Don't be the reporters firsthand on the killing fields about about what's going on. We didn't say that to like Dan Rather or Geraldo Rivera showing up at various places in war zones reporting. These people are telling you what's going on. A lot of times it sounds glorified. Maybe it is. But they're still telling you in a lot of cases what's going on. And if you're not familiar, rewind, go back to is it 1983, 1984, and listen to The Message. And it's been there. Conscious rap has been there, and it got washed out in a lot of cases by a more violent and explicit sort of music. But again, what would you prefer? That these people be actual criminals, actual crack sellers, actual pimps? In a lot of cases, it's a role, and I'm not downplaying what a lot of people have been through, but you bolster yourself up. It's a very, kind of puffed up sort of, imagery. It's, in a lot of cases, I believe it was Stone Cold Steve Austin said it best. He said, I'm the same guy, but just with the volume turned up. So that's what we're looking at in a lot of cases, is that we're talking about, yes, you're portraying a particular image, you're speaking from a certain place, but in a lot of cases, it's not everything that that the worst. So you allow people to express themselves through art. And whether you call it art or not is not the question. It's not the point. Somebody comes along and says what you're doing is not productive, you'd be like, so what? I like doing it. So what? They like doing it. So what? I like doing it. And even if it's not hip hop, I'm going to the studio, and whether my music is terrible or not is of little consequence. It wasn't selling on large scales before. So okay, it's all right. Let people do what they do without taking these shots. And again, I'm going to repeat this. I'd prefer it to be overt than covert. We know when you're taking shots at the hip-hop community, I feel like I know what that's about. Because again, it never said somebody's still trying to be a country music singer. You still think there aren't people out there struggling trying to be country music singers? All right, cool. Live in that. There aren't people still trying to work on being, jazz trumpet players or whatever. Cool. Go with that. It's only rap. Got it. So I guess I got to ask what happened, because in a lot of cases for a lot of you, and I know a lot of you, is that you were good with music, hip-hop music, for a long time. And then it seemed like it was like, wow, that's something I got to outgrow. That's not for me anymore. And I think in a lot of cases, it can be, yeah. But then why didn't we outgrow Bon Jovi, Van Halen, Motley Crue? Don't tell me that they're classics, because Run DMC is a classic. KRS is a classic. LL has some classics. So what happened? Why is it that one falls off and then we look at it and say, I can't do that anymore. That's not me. And maybe you just grow up and you realize, like, you look around and economically, once you've got to your place, that it doesn't coincide. It doesn't line up. That, I don't know, is it fear-based? That the guys at the country club don't look at it that way, and it sounds like I'm coming at it from a classism angle. Maybe I am a little bit. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm all for experimenting into new genres of music. We should grow that way. But I didn't completely, throw out or burn my Elton John collection. Still have it. And mixed it with a lot of other things. You become more well-rounded and whole that way. Instead of chipping at one thing to become whole and then just chopping the other off, you've taken your well-roundedness away. But I mean, it's all good, and I know that it's not everybody's sentiment, and I know, like, every once in a while at that wedding, Bust a Move will come on, and that's kind of not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you got to throw in, NWA every morning, or throw up your woo to at the functions and stuff like that. It's not what I'm actually saying, but it's just that we've gotten to a point, or some have gotten to a point, where that's okay to run down on something like rap, which has given us so much. It's given the world a whole lot, that's for sure. So again, I'm just thinking out loud here. So let me run it back. Trying to be a rapper. So it's your first time hearing rap, and you're like, what is this? And at some point you decide, like, I'm gonna try to rap. So you memorize some of your favorite songs, things like that, and then some of us take it to another level and start writing. I'm gonna write my own raps. So you're trying to be a rapper. No problem. That's fantastic, because you're trying something new. You're developing a new skill. It's no different than watching Bob Ross and trying to be a painter. Deciding after watching UFC that you are going to try to be a fighter. You're looking to better yourself at that point. And whether it's day one or your last day, you're still doing something for you. And that's what so many people miss out on, are missing the point. Whether you agree with the lifestyle or not, it's not the point. Weed smoke, all that stuff, so what? So do Willie Nelson, so do a lot of people. And now we're seeing that it's legalized. So now your arguments are kind of like futile, because it's what the natives have known for a long time, and a lot of people, it's medicinal. But until you can figure out how to tax it, then let's just throw everyone in jail who we deem is, dangerous with it. And if you don't believe me, look at the war on drugs. And what do we got here? Look like police pulling somebody over. But yeah, so enough already. Don't we have enough division? Don't we have enough separation? Don't we have enough to not have to worry about like what somebody's doing musically? Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of terrible rap out there, and it's a lot of stuff I won't listen to. But I completely will listen to their right to expression. It's the same as with a lot of people in this pseudo-racist rhetoric. I don't agree with it. Don't want to hear it in a lot of cases, but I'm going to agree with it from the aspect that it's your right to expression, your right to free speech. I'm not going to squelch that or attempt to mute that just because I don't agree with it, solely because I disagree with it. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I agree with the lifestyle that anybody should have for freedom of speech, even if I don't like it, whether it's bad rap or just being a bad human. Side note, the cashier in there was an extremely positive gentleman. He had the same philosophy that I did. He asked how my day was. I said it's great, and he said his day was so-so because the computer was acting up, but then he went into the same thing that I always say, is that I have a job. I woke up this morning. I have a place to be, and I have a purpose. So it's a beautiful thing to come across people that are like-minded. Now, the only thing that did trip me up was he thought that this was like a legit dojo, as far as not being like Karate Kid. But you know what? Maybe somewhere there is Miyagi-Do, and I'm the one who doesn't know. But anyways, I digress. We're talking rap, being a rapper, and how if you feel bad about what's going on in your life, don't feel bad, because at least you're not that guy from your hometown or that girl from your hometown trying to be a rapper. Ooh, that's it. If that makes you feel better, then I'm not even sure what your life choices are. And if this hits you hard, it's not my intent. This is a conversation. These are my thoughts. But if it makes you better to feel like somebody is still struggling or starting off on their journey because you haven't had the best day or your experiences are not good, then this is why you're off. This is why you need to get realigned. This is exactly the problem. Because you're waiting for other people. Like, you can't stand tall on dead bodies. You can't. You got to raise yourself up. You got to lift yourself up. Have your own view. You got to be tall on your own. You're not going to get any taller standing on the failures of other people. That's not how that works. Build yourself up. Build that team up around you where you're going to realize and achieve better things. Then you won't worry about what somebody else is doing. Facts. So I know it's hard to see, but here we are actually in the studio. And this is what happens. This is what a lot of people aspire to do, whether it is as a full-time profession, whether it's just outside of the realm of, this is what I'm going to do just to get away and do something different. But we can't discount what that means to people. We got to make sure that we understand that that kind of content that we put out, it's not positive. So we gotta do better. So we're not even doing hip hop right now. We're doing some other genre stuff, and it's coming out beautiful. So it can be anything that you want, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to necessarily be hip hop. It can be whatever it is that you enjoy. So guys, keep enjoying it. And if we do some hip hop, I'll show you. But whether you're trying to be a rapper or just, first time basket weaver, it doesn't mean you have to be Martha Stewart in the end. It just means be happy with what you are doing. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the growth. See what we got. What do you think? I can barely hear you. Oh, maybe because I had the finger held down.
And I wouldn't say I was an addict, but I love the way we chatted, and I love the way we had it. Wrong time, wrong place.
Blame this guy for allowing me to still try to be a rapper. No matter how bad your day is, remember, I'm still trying it.
It's all my fault.